What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Real quick before we dive too far into this one, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing and joining the Discord that is linked in the description. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So it's been about 7 months since we made a video discussing how to play premiums, and a couple of people have been asking for one on a couple of new premiums. One of them is being the Hornet. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly. I'm going to quickly give over some keybinds that you guys need to have keybinded, and then we're going to be talking about how the plane actually plays itself. So the first thing we're going to be doing is your weapon keybinds. Now your weapon keybinds, you can go through all of them. I would suggest keybinding everything to buttons you'd like. Your big ones are going to be your fire, air-to-air missile, and obviously your lock, air-to-air weapon lock, air-to-air missile. You have your visual weapon selector, which will allow you to select your secondary weapons visually by just moving your mouse cursor after pushing the button, or the way I like to do it, which is by just pushing a button and it will cycle through. That is your switch secondary and exit selected weapon mode. Then you are also going to have your drop additional fuel tank, and then everything else is more cast related. And those are all things you guys should definitely keybind in the future. And then if you guys want to get advanced, jettison secondary weapons is another keybind. Make sure you don't put that somewhere that you'll just bump, though, because it will jettison all of your weapons. Now, if you're flying the Hornet, like the video's on, you're going to want your new control mode keybind. It's very simple right at the top. It's just your switch maneuvers and limits mode. This is going to enable or disable your AOA limiter, and it's definitely a keybind that you should have for dogfights, but be careful so you don't wing grip. Now, the next thing you guys are going to have is your countermeasures button. This is very important. If you want to live from missiles, you're going to need it. You have your switch countermeasures button that I would suggest keybinding to select between chaff and flares, and then you'll just have your fire countermeasures. You can also individually keybind to fire, flares, or chaff. Personally, I don't. And then your periodic countermeasures release on and off. You don't have enough countermeasures to want to have that keybinded. Next keybinds we're going over are your radars. We're going to go over these pretty quickly, so if you need to pause the video and go into your own keybinds, feel free. We're going to go through your switch, radar, infrared system search, on and off. This turns your radar on and off. Switch between your radar and IRST. You don't really need this in a Hornet, but that is just going to switch between your radar and your infrared system track. You don't have that on the Hornet. Your change radar / IRST mode, switching between search PD or TWS, keybind that. Your radar / IRST beyond / within visual range combat is very important. This is going to be selecting if you're either going to be acquiring or search mode. This is very important and a good keybind to have. Change radar / IRST search mode, keybind that to 8, or keybind that to whatever. That keybind is just basically changing your range and changing your search mode. Now, change radar / IRST scope scale, changing the size of the scope, keybind that, and then your lock radar / IRST on target. That is your most important keybind that to save your life. Personally, in my personal opinion, you can make it with just 3 of these keybinds, being the radar / IRST beyond within visual range, your radar on and off, and then your lock radar to target. If you have those 3 keybinds, you're going to be fine, and the other ones you can watch a more detailed guide on to learn. Now we're going to talk about the actual playstyle of the Hornet, and if you guys already own this aircraft, how you can make sure you're going to be one of the better players in it. Now, the big downside to the F-18 is going to be the fact that you're going to be going up against Fox 3s pretty much a lot, and you're also going to have to deal with an aircraft that is very, very slow. And yes, the Hornet is Mach 1 capable on the deck, but if you get into dogfights or extended maneuvers to dodge Fox 3s, you're going to bleed away all your energy. So make sure you learn how to use your energy properly and retain it. Now, a big thing with the F-18 is the playstyle of it is very dependent on the BR. If you're in an up tier or a tier that you're going to be facing a majority Fox 3s, staying low and bringing high flares is your best option. Honestly, you have to, because you only have around you don't have a lot of countermeasures. You only have 60 countermeasures. You cannot get away with staying high and using chaff to defend yourself. You have to stay low and use the terrain to your advantage. Now, the AIM-7Ps do very, very well top, down, and above, so I do understand wanting to use them in that type of engagement, but you just cannot use them unless you're in a down tier that way, else you're going to die to Fox 3s. And that's where the 9L is actually very nice to have. The 9L is actually really, really good rear aspect-wise. It's very hard to flare, and even head-on-wise, people can get it confused with radar missiles and try to multipath it and not even bother flaring. And so you will actually get quite a few kills with that. The AIM-7Ps do work. but they can be a little bit unreliable sometimes, which is unfortunate because it is a decent missile, and you can definitely switch out your counter or your secondary load to include more or less of them. Like I said, I like to run the 4 and 6 loadout, 4 of the SAR missiles and then the 6 of the IRs, but that you guys can change that to how you like it. I also can run a 5 and 4. Now, a thing about this aircraft is that it does get good bombs. It can bomb bases. I would absolutely not suggest that. If you're looking to get a premium to bomb bases with and you don't want to be a skilled air player, which is weird in my opinion, you just may as well buy the F4S. This aircraft is only going to be really good in air-to-air capability. If you start adding napalm to go base bombing, you're going to become so slow, you're not even going to probably get a base. Plus, you're going to be sluggish and lose all your energy in the first turn, or two if you're carrying bombs. So I would stay away from that at all costs. If you're picking up this thing to play in ground RB, it does definitely have a lot of good cast options. You get good Mavericks, and you do get a lot of those good, you get the GBU-12s and a couple other sets of GBUs. You do not get any JDAMs, but you do get good laser-guided and IR-guided missiles, and bombs, which are very valid and good weapon sets to have. Now, something that this plane definitely does shine in is its air-to-air potential. You do get good amounts of 20mm M61 cannon, and your gun is centrally mounted, so it is actually pretty easy to use. It can throw you off a little bit, though, because it's the only aircraft that has a center-mounted gun. It's a lot like the Harrier, but the Harrier has a 25mm, at least the Aviate-B and the Aviate-B-NA. Now, the nice thing about this aircraft is you do get down-tiered and you do get up-tiered. If you're up-tiered, you're going to be fighting 13-7s, but if you're down-tiered, you can see yourself all the way down to 11-7, which you guys can probably imagine how that works for you. You definitely are the best aircraft in that range, and you don't have to handle anything that really can come close to actually being able to beat you. There are definitely aircraft out there that will beat you, especially if they're a smart player. So just keeping your head on a swivel and making sure you're being aware and using your energy and using your weapons kits, smartly will definitely help you out in the long run. Anyways, I do want to know what your guys' thoughts are on the F-18. Do you guys think it's an aircraft worth picking up? Are you guys glad you bought it? If you guys haven't bought it yet, are you thinking you're going to buy it? My personal opinion, I actually like this aircraft. It's a lot of fun as a premium. I do think that there are better premium options out there, and this one is definitely not user-friendly, so if you get it, you're probably going to end up getting frustrated. Just stick with it, and eventually you'll make it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to join the Discord, link down below in the description. Also, we're doing a giveaway, so if you want to join the giveaway, it'll be linked. It'll be in the Discord. Feel free to join, and I hope to catch you guys in a later video.